As you know, it's election day, so I hope that all of you guys went out to the poll and cast your vote because it's the most important thing that you can do. But going straight from that, a lot of Senate races throughout the whole United States are up for grabs. In Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, but out of those states, only Florida has released the winner, and that is Marco Rubio, so congratulations. And in the governor's race, in Florida, we have DeSantis. Obviously, he would win. We all knew that was going to happen. But other than that, let's take a look at the results so far. So these results are actually showing us something that we really can't really see from a lot of the media right now. So I have the New York Times up right here. Now they're predicting a lot. I don't really look at the predictions because I could just predict that we're going to have an asteroid come towards us, and that's not accurate at all. So here's the actual results. So in key races in Arizona, no votes have been reported at all, but in Colorado, also the same exact thing, no votes have been reported. Now, like I just said, in Florida, Marco Rubio has been declared the winner. 87% of the votes are in, but in Arizona and Colorado, there is 0% of the votes in. If we look at Georgia, we can see that Warnock is up 1.8 points and 48% of the votes are in. If we look at Nevada, 0.0% of the votes are in, and 0% of the votes are actually counted. In New Hampshire, we can see that Hawson is 23%, or 23 points, I should say, up, and 15% has been counted in that race, so I really wouldn't trust that at all. In North Carolina, we can see that Baseley is up 2 points and 60% of the votes are in. We can see that in Ohio, Ryan is up 9 points and 34% of the votes are in. And in Pennsylvania, we have Fetterman up 57 points for some reason, but only 8% of the votes are in or counted, so I don't trust that at all. In Wisconsin, we have 0 votes reported and 0% of the votes are in. In Alaska District 1, there are no votes reported and 0% of the votes are in. In Arizona District 1, no votes are reported, 0% have been counted. In Arizona District 2, no votes have been reported. The same thing as California, District 9. The same thing as District 13 in California, District 22 in California, District 26 in California, District number 27 in California, number 41, number 45, number 47, number 49. In Colorado, 0% of the votes have been counted and no votes have been reported. And in Florida, though, Luna wins. So that's District 13. Really, really good. Good win for Florida over here. In Illinois, we have Pacquiao up 7 points, but only 1% of the votes have been counted. So we don't know if that's actually accurate at this point. That's in Illinois, District 6. In District number 13 in Illinois, we have Benzinski up 32 points, but only 9% of the votes have been counted. In Illinois District 14, we have Underwood up 21 points and 2% of the votes have been counted. In Illinois District 17, we have King up 20 points, but less than 1% of the votes have been counted. So that's absolutely nothing. In India, no, that doesn't make any sense. India. In Indiana, I should say, Marvin is up 19 points, and there's only 23% of the votes have been counted, so I don't trust that at all. In Kansas District 3, we have David's up 43%, or 43 points, while only 1% of the votes have been counted, so. In Maine District 2, we have Poliquin up 10 points and only 3% of the vote have been counted. Now in Michigan District 3, we should start at the top. No votes have been reported and 0% of the vote has been counted. In Michigan District 7, Bear is up 21 points and 17% of the votes have been counted. So we don't trust that. In Michigan District 8, we have Judge up 23 points and 5% of the votes have been counted, so we don't trust that so far. In Minnesota District 2, we have no votes reported, 0% are in. The same exact thing is the case in Nebraska. We have no votes reported and 0% have been counted. In Nevada, we have District 1 in at 0% of the votes have been counted, no votes reported. Nevada, District 3, and the same thing in District 4 in Nevada. In New Hampshire, District 1, we have Papas up 21 points, but only 19% of the votes have been counted. In District 2 in New Hampshire, we have McLean Guster up 27 points, but only 13% of the votes have been counted. In New Mexico, District 2, we have no votes reported. In New York, District 3, we have no votes reported. The same thing in District 4, the same thing in District 17, 18, 19, 22, and 13. Oh, in 13, though, we have Nickel up 10 points, and 59% of the vote has been counted. In Ohio District 1, we have Landsman up 22 points, and 35% of the vote has been counted. The same thing in 9 and Ohio District 9, we have Kepter up 27 points, but only 38% of the vote has been counted. And in Ohio District 13, we have Sykes up 31 points, but only 29% of the votes have been counted. Oregon, District 5, we have no votes reported, 0% have been counted. Pennsylvania District 8, we have Cartwright up 26 points, only 2% of the votes have been counted. So, Pennsylvania District 17, we have Dularesco up 60 points, but 21% of the vote has been counted. Rhode Island District 2, we have Magner up 0.04% or 0.04 points, and 80% of the votes have been counted. So, Texas District 28, we have Culser up 15 points, but 30% of the vote has been counted. Texas District 34, we have Gonzalez up 19 points, but 27% of the votes have been counted. In Virginia, District 2, we have Kiggins up 12 points, and 65% of the votes have been counted. In the same exact place in Virginia, we have Vega up 5 points, but 79% of the votes have been counted. So that's a little bit more reliable. In Washington District 3, we have no votes reported, 0% have been counted. The same thing in Washington District 8, no votes have been reported, and 0% of the votes have been counted in that state. In the governor's races, we have Arizona, no votes reported, 0% votes are in. Florida, DeSantis wins, so we already announced that at the beginning. We already knew 85% of the votes are in Florida. In Georgia, though, we have Kemp up 7 points, 47% of the votes are in. In Kansas, we have Kelly up 18 points, and 13% of the votes are in. In Maine, we have LePage up 12 points, and 2% of the votes are in. In Michigan, we have Whitmer up 10 points, and 7% of the votes are in. In Nevada, we have 0% votes in, no votes reported. In New Mexico, we have no votes reported, 0% of the votes are in. In New York, we have no votes reported, 0% are in. Oregon, no votes reported, 0% are in. In Pennsylvania, we have Shapiro up 60 points, and 8% are in. So Texas up 6 points, but 29% of the votes are in. In Wisconsin, we have no votes reported, and 0% are in. In the state control, in Alaska, we don't know. In Arizona, we don't know. In Colorado, we don't know. In Georgia, we don't know. In Massachusetts, obviously, is going to be Democrat governor, and that's a check mark right next to us. But in Massachusetts, they did have a Republican governor, which is really, really rare to see in Massachusetts, but they just got carried away, I guess, because now they have a Democrat governor in Massachusetts now. But they're very, very left leaning, so we already knew that was going to happen. That's the governor race. In the state house in Massachusetts, nothing is in this moment. In the state Senate, we have Democrat led, obviously. In MD, I'm just trying to find out what Maryland, we have Democrat led governor elected, but the state house is 0. And the state Senate is 0. In Maine, 0. And across the board, Michigan, 0 across the board. Minnesota, 0 across the board. New Hampshire, Republican governor, checkmarked. Okay. But we have 0 on the state house and 0 on the state Senate. In Nevada, 0 across the board. New York, we have 0 across the board. Oregon, 0 across the board. Pennsylvania, 0 across the board. And Wisconsin, 0 across the board. So, if this is a really good update to you guys, it is really informative for me because, I mean, as much as we would like to see every single thing come out before the end of the day today, oh, it's not gonna happen, and I mean, as much as I would like to see it too, I am staying up to date in all of these things, so if you do wanna stay up to date, please subscribe and like down below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I hope that whoever you voted for actually wins, because I hope that who I voted for actually wins. But, of course, thanks to the voting rules and regulations that we have, we're not gonna know until a week from now. Hopefully. Cross our fingers, we know ASAP because we should know. In India, they have 1 billion people and they have elections on the same exact day. They know by the end of the day who they voted for and who won. But I digress. We will talk about this more on Friday's show. If you do want to keep up to date with me, I have new shows every single Tuesday and every single Wednesday and every single Friday. Thank you all for watching, and I hope they have a great rest of your day. Bye.
I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.